Hi guys! I know this is new for my channel, but for those of you guys that are new, I'm in my wellness era. I'm gonna be talking about the Ultrahuman ring, which is a body tracker. And if you guys are new here, my name's Sarah. I do beauty and wellness content, so this video is a little bit different for the channel. Not unexpected though. I've been wearing the Ultrahuman ring since April 7th, so it's been a few months now. This is gonna be a video about my own personal thoughts on the ring, how to set it up, some facts and some things that you can do with the ring, and what I wish was different or could be better. The reason that I bought the ring is because, like I mentioned in the beginning, I am in my health and wellness era. My main goal of the last couple years has been my health, and if you guys are new here, I, for some reason, am someone who has a lot of health anxiety, but ever since I got the ring, that has definitely subsided a lot, which I am so grateful for. Knowing the little details about my body every day has really given me so much peace and insight into my own body, my own habits, and given me ideas for routines that I can implement to better help my health. So that is the reason that I wanted to get the ring, is I wanted to know things about my body that I just simply couldn't find out with anything else. Also, being in my health and wellness era, I have been tracking my steps. I've been trying to hit 10K steps every day. I'm in a calorie deficit, and I'm just doing all the things that I can to be the healthiest version of myself. So I felt like this ring was really fitting because it also tracks your steps, your heart rate, your sleep, so many things that we'll get into. But I wanted something that would track my steps constantly throughout the day. I currently use an app on my phone, but it only tracks while I'm holding my phone. And throughout the day, I'm constantly going back and forth and doing other things where I don't always have my phone on me. So I wanted a more accurate measurement of my steps. That was one of the main reasons I got the ring. And it was between a ring, an Apple Watch, or like a Fitbit. I've had a Fitbit in the past and I didn't want an Apple Watch. I'm sorry, I just don't like the aesthetic of an Apple Watch. It doesn't fit my personal style. And once I started seeing rings come out, I was like, oh my God, that is so my style. I was so into it. I was so excited about that because yeah, I'm not someone who wants to wear an Apple Watch. Point blank, period. I just don't like the look of it. So when you order the ring, you can choose different finishes. I got the gold finish. They also send you a ring sizing kit ahead of time, which is really nice. And they suggest you wear the ring for 3 days, all day and night, to make sure that the size you're choosing is the most accurate, which I thought was so helpful. I still have the ring sizing kit. I ended up being a size 7, I think, and I thought I was gonna be a size 8. So it's just really nice that they provide you with that. And they also give you a little survey, like, did you wear it 3 days? Did you wear it at nighttime? Like, they wanna make sure you did this before they send you the ring, which is really nice. And then I received the ring pretty quickly after I submitted my measurements. I got it on the 7th and I wore it immediately after following the instruction manual that it comes with. And it said not to charge the ring fully to 100%. The ring went down to 30% pretty quickly when I first got it. There was instructions that once it got to a certain level, then charge it to 100%. So I did just that. I have notes from when I first got the ring, so let me walk you through them really quick because I feel like they're really important to how I felt when I first got the ring. In the beginning, I loved everything about the ring. I was so excited about it. It already calmed my health anxiety that I have so quickly, just seeing that everything was in line, everything was in order, nothing really stood out to worry about. So that gave me so much peace of mind, which I feel like you can't buy, honestly. It did say it takes 15 days to fully calibrate, so I didn't want to critique anything too soon because it's still calibrating. I did remember in the beginning, I felt like the ring was dying really fast, and I thought it could have up to a 6-day use. So that kind of shocked me at first. I thought, okay, this is dying really quickly. But one thing I found was that you can charge the ring while you're taking a shower or while you're washing your face, which is what I do. And it brings the ring back up to a high percentage pretty quickly. And then I can wear it overnight with no worries. And one night I didn't charge it and it was less than 50% and it ended up dying throughout the night. So I didn't get my tracking for that night and I was pretty bummed that it didn't track. So that's when I realized okay, I need to charge it throughout the day, every day. And you might think like, why would you have to do that? But for me, it works. You can put it in the water, you can take a shower with it, you can wash dishes with it, you can wash your face with it. Like you can get the ring wet. There's no problem with that. But for me, I just like to take it off while I take a shower and wash my face anyways. So during those 2 times, I charge the ring, and that has significantly helped the battery life. You would think charging something over and over when it doesn't need to be charged would hurt the battery life, but it doesn't hurt the battery life of the ring. I feel like it actually makes the battery life so much better. So that's one huge tip I will say. Another thing I want to note about the battery that I noticed uses a lot of battery is if you do want the Ultrahuman ring to track like your heartbeat in real time or your steps and movement in real time, it is able to do that. You have an option of putting it in workout mode, or it also has like breathing exercises, which I did try in the very beginning of having the ring. But when you choose to do breath work through the ring, and you might be wondering, why would you want to do breath work through the ring? It's because it will guide you through the breath work, and it's also tracking your heart rate in the moment of the breath work. So it's really tracking it as you're doing the breath work, which I think is very helpful, obviously, but the ring will tell you if you choose to do this, you're gonna use a lot of battery from the ring. So the day that I tried this, it did use a significant amount of battery. I think that's important to just keep in mind if that's how you wanna use the ring, use like breath work or workouts or running. A lot of people run, I do walks, and if you want real-time stats, it's gonna use the battery a lot more because it's literally tracking in real time. It's taking your heartbeat, your pulse, I guess, in the moment. So it is working a little bit harder. It's gonna use the battery a little bit more. So I think that is kind of like a downside, but I understand why it kills the battery, if that makes sense. But if you don't mind not having the information like your heart rate in real time, the ring will track your activity, or you can add in your activity manually. There's a plus size at the bottom of the app, and you can input your period, your activity, your food, breath work, workout. You can add that in there manually later, and it will track during those times. Another thing that I think is really great is the ring actually notices when you've done an activity based on your heart rate. So a lot of times it'll say activity detected, and it'll show the time frame where it noticed activity. Here's one thing I'll say about that. I feel that it's a little bit off, and I understand why it's off. So in the morning, I'll go for a morning walk, which is about 40 minutes. I feel like it only detects maybe 20 to 30 minutes of the walk, and that's because my heart rate doesn't jump until maybe like 10-15 minutes into the walk. So that's what it's really tracking. And when it does detect activity, it will tell you what zone your heart rate was in and for how long. So I think that's really helpful too, especially if you are someone who's running and you don't mind seeing the data later. You can run, do your activity. What I do to kind of combat this is I take notes of the time that I go for my walk in my notes app. So later on, when I'm inputting it in the ring, I remember like, oh yeah, I actually went from this time, because it allows you to change the time of the activity. And then from there, it also asks kind of what activity you're doing. So my number one choice is outdoor walking, but there's also like yoga, there's all kinds of workouts and activities listed, and you can choose what it is that you did. You can even choose indoor walk. So it will track those things, but I will say it's not 100% accurate because it's going off of your heart rate. Or you can input the activity yourself. Basically 3 ways of tracking activity in the ring. It just depends what works best for you. For me, I like when it detects the activity, and then I'll just change up the times a little bit. And that leads me into, if you're wondering what the ring does track, this is everything that the ring tracks. So I actually just updated the ring recently, and there was a huge new update, which is your brain age. So it does give you your ultra age, and it goes off of your brain age, your pulse age, and your blood age. Your blood age, you do have to input. I'm actually gonna get a physical soon, so I am gonna input that information into here. It tells you the pace of your aging, which is actually so scary. Mine is older than I actually am, and I'm about that. It also gives you your dynamic recovery, which is your stress rhythm kind of, which is your resting heart rate, your temperature, and your HRV, your heart rate variability. I learned from the ring. And then it also gives you your sleep, and it'll give you your sleep index, and it'll give you your contributors, like your total amount slept, your time in bed, your restorative sleep, and your heart rate drop, what time it dropped. It'll also give you sleep efficiency, temperature, restfulness, consistency, total sleep, heart rate drop, timing, and restoration time. It also gives you your sleep stages, when you're awake, when you have REM sleep, when you have light sleep, and when you have deep sleep. And it actually shows you the times in the app, like when you hit those things, when you hit different levels of sleep. And it will give you your heart rate, your HRV zone, morning alertness, tosses and turns during your sleep, and your average oxygen saturation, and your temperature. My temperature is always messed up. Like, I'm always burning hot in bed, I've noticed. It also gives you your circadian rhythm. So it tells you when the sun is up, when the sun is down, when it's best for you to go outside and get some sunshine. Your circadian rhythm tells your body when it's time to wake up and when it's time to go to bed, based off of when the sun is up and when it settles. That's really important for your body's internal clock. And then it also keeps track of your movement. It'll give you total calories and total steps. And it also has like mini goals set up in the app, and you can change them if you want. I've just left them on auto or manual. And then it gives you your stress rhythm, which is your stress tolerant zone, and it gives you like a scale, and it tells you when you're stimulated and all of that. It tells you when you're stressed, relaxed, stimulated, and activity. And it says not all stress is bad stress, so that's something to keep in mind, because whenever I see like 94, like what it is right now, I'm like, why is it so high? But it's just also you just doing things or whatever, thinking about a lot of things. It's just crazy. It also has cycle tracking, which I have a separate app tracking my cycle. This, you had to input your last 3 periods, so you still need data of when you had your period, and you need to put that data in there. I will say it's good at predicting, just like my app is, but it's still, just like my app, doesn't understand my cycle, I feel. I feel like it's always predicting my period based on my last periods and giving me a 28-day cycle, even though I have more of a 32-day cycle. So it's always saying maybe menstrual. Like, it is, right now it's saying maybe menstrual, which I am gonna start my period next week because I know how my cycle works at this point. So it kind of guesses, but I don't think it's super accurate, but it's the same as my period tracker, which is interesting. It also gives you a caffeine window. So based on your sleep patterns, your heart rate, all of that, how long it takes for your heart rate to drop at night, this is when you can start drinking coffee, and this is when you should stop drinking coffee, so it doesn't affect your quality of sleep, which I really like. I really like knowing that. That's something I never thought of before. I recently, before the ring, stopped drinking coffee first thing in the morning and started having a meal before I had coffee, just for my hormones. But seeing this has given me so much more insight into my body and when I need to stop drinking coffee, and I have definitely followed the advice of the Ultrahuman ring because I think it's very helpful for my sleep. One thing I've noticed that I could really work on is my sleep, and so because of the ring, I have implemented so many things to help me with my sleep. So I really pay attention to the data that it's giving me. I really, really like it. And it also gives you your body signal, so how many calories you've burned based on your steps, and then your brain waste clearance, which is new. I haven't really looked at that too much, but this is, your brain waste is based on your deep sleep, your sleep duration, sleep efficiency, your heart rate variability score, and your sleep debt penalty. So all of these things are contributing to your brain. It will also give you individual markers, which are your heart rate, your cardio age, and your temperature deviation. So it's constantly tracking your temperature and your heart rate and your cardio age. My cardio age is younger than I am, which I was so happy about, until the new brain age came in and told me I'm older. So we have things to work on. It also tracks your sun, which is a widget that you can add. There's a bunch of widgets that you can add. I don't have all of them. Like, if you have a glucose monitor, you can connect it to the app, which I think is really cool. So it can also track that and put that into your data and analytics, basically, which is pretty cool. But yeah, they call them power plugs, but they're widgets. So you can do cycle and ovulation, which I have. You can do vitamin D. I've added that. You can add screen time, circadian rhythm, caffeine window. I've done all of these, but you can also have a smart alarm, social jet lag, pregnancy insights, new parent, so many things, which is really, really cool. For the sunlight, I'm just never hitting this. It will ask you your skin tone, which I think is really cool, depending on your melanin, how much sun you should be getting. And mine claims I should be getting so much sun. I'm definitely not getting that much. So it will tell you like, oh, do you want to go get some sun, or UV exposure is this right now? It's a good time for you to go outside. It'll also give me reminders. So yeah, that's everything that's actually in the app. And one of the main reasons I wanted to get the Ultrahuman ring over the Oura ring, which is really popular, is the Oura ring does have a app, but you have to pay a subscription for it. And I feel like I didn't want to pay for a subscription for the ring. I mean, knowing what I know now though, with how important and knowing how much you get to learn about yourself through the app, I think maybe I wouldn't mind paying, but it's really nice that the Ultrahuman ring doesn't make you pay for the app, and there's so much that you can do in there. There's also a lot of learning that you can do in the app. So I think that's a huge bonus, not having to pay for the app for the Ultrahuman ring versus the Oura ring, in my opinion. The only things that I feel like could be better are just the charging situation. I think for some people that might be a con, but for me, it doesn't bother me. I have a routine with it while I'm showering and washing my face, just put it on the charger and it's perfectly fine. Haven't had any problems with it since I've started that routine. Also, the fact that it uses so much battery real time. So if you're someone who wants real time tracking, it might not be for you. Or if your activity isn't that long and you're able to charge it right after, I don't see it being a problem, honestly. And honestly, just missed sleep data. That happened one time when I was laying on my hand. So my hand was probably dead in the middle of the night, so it wasn't tracking. But that's only happened once in the 3 months that I've had the ring. So that's honestly nothing huge. But so far, I honestly love, love, love having the Ultrahuman ring. I think it's taught me a lot about myself and where I can improve for my health in the short term and long term, which is exactly what I wanted from the ring. So my final verdict and who it's for, I 100% am so happy with my purchase. I think it really helped me and honestly is helping my health journey so much. I really wouldn't have known these things if I didn't have this data from the ring. So I am 10 out of 10 happy with my purchase. I think it was worth every penny for someone like me who was on their health and wellness journey. And because of the ring and the data that I've learned from the ring, I have implemented so many things into my life to become a healthier version of myself, which I feel like I could have only done with the ring. I didn't know anything about heart rate variability. I didn't know so many like intricacies that happened with your body on the daily. And also because of the data I've received, I've used AI to help me improve scores that I see are kind of low, like my heart rate. So there's just a lot of things that I've implemented in my life because of data that I have from the ring. So it was worth the investment, worth the purchase, would purchase it again, would recommend it. And I really think it's for anyone who is health conscious like me on their health and wellness journey and really is looking for data and solutions to be healthier short-term and long-term. I feel like it provides so much information that you can use to your benefit to live a healthier lifestyle, which is exactly what I wanted. So if you're really taking your health seriously, I think it's a great investment and I highly, highly recommend it. If you're just getting it for tracking like your steps, I don't think it's worth it. I feel like you could just use a tracker on your phone. If you're just getting it for your period, I don't think it's worth it because you can just use an app for that again. But if you are very serious about your health and wellness journey like me, highly recommend. There's just so many things I love about it and what it's added to my life that is irreplaceable to me. So I am fully happy with my purchase. I would purchase it again. I I want Russ to have one so I can know his. And I think my mom is also really intrigued because she's also very health conscious. I think she should get one. And unfortunately, Ultrahuman ring was not able to provide me a discount code, but I'll still put a link for you guys. I highly recommend it. It is kind of a steep price, but my motto with health is you either pay for it now in things like this type of technology and healthier food, because unfortunately healthier food is more expensive. The gym, you know, you can pay for it in monetary ways now that may seem expensive, or you can pay for it down the line with your health on the line. And for me, I would much rather pay the price of being healthy now so I don't have to pay with my own personal health later on down the line. So if you believe the same thing, definitely worth the investment. I can't say that enough. I can't say enough good things about it and how much it changed my life. Truly, I just love it so much, and I'm still learning so much through the app. So let me know what you guys think of the Ultrahuman ring after seeing this video. Are you guys interested in getting it? Is it something that's for you? Are you guys on your health journey? I would love to know. It's always nice to be surrounded by like-minded people. So you are my people if you are like ready to buy this, because I get it. I get it. Nothing feels better than taking care of yourself. So kudos to you if you are heading in that direction. And this is my review on the Ultrahuman ring after having it for 3 months. I will see you guys in my next video.